around the gather here. They said the 2 bedroom flat 600,000. We have for the 3 bedroom. They say 1.7. I say just a room that makes up to the 3 bedroom and the other one 2 bedroom. 600, 1.7 million. I didn't see the house that is more beautiful that they've done some things. I say, wow, is that why you take it off? I said, I don't think the dollar has increased. I was like, wow.
Okay.
It is well with us in this country. You see, anytime anything like that, major like that happens, we spread it across other areas, even when it comes to land and all those things. And I don't know why we are doing that to ourselves in this country. Seriously, I don't know why. We just attach unnecessary value to a particular thing, and before you know it, there's a price hike. Like some of the clothes that you wear around, they will say, this one, Yahoo boys are wearing it. So it must compulsorily have money unnecessarily. This one, they are buying it. It must compulsorily have money. So where do they expect the people to get this money from? Why won't the guys think of doing anything extra apart from salary or money getting from the business to be able to live in an affordable house? Why are we not going to be thinking of crime? Why are we not going to be thinking of, looking for a way to get? If two friends are living together in an apartment, they want to separate. One cannot afford to get 1 million house, one cannot afford to get 100,000 house. And because of peer pressure, I want to be like my friend. He will start thinking, he doesn't know where his friend got the money from. And this landlord don't want to think about that this really is having adverse effects on us. It is coming back to us because those crimes that they are committing, if he doesn't get money from that source again, he will have to resort to another crime. You can be a victim of that crime.
All right,
let's hand up to kidnapping or robbery.
Okay, good. Because of our time, we have a whole lot of stories to talk about. Lagos, Nigeria. This is the Big Five, and we are still talking with the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Lagos State. He's the chairman, Mr. Mobolaji. Yes, and we are streaming live. I decided to stream this particular conversation on iMpact YouTube. Yes, iMpact 1021 FM, and also on Twitter at iMpact 1021 FM. You can send me a message if you're telling me your Big Five. What's your Big Five for the course of the week, Mondays to Fridays? And yes, this is the Mountain Point where we talk about all of the stories that have made it up to the headlines on the newspaper. All right, Mr. Mobolaji, I want us to talk about this Euro-bound flight diverted amidst fear of fare hike. It is a fare hike. I don't really understand what is going on. Everything is just up. And there's the writers to that particular headline stories on the Daily Trust, dated August 9th. Yes, August 9th. And it's saying Euro-bound flight diverted amidst fear of fare hike. Lagos London one-way ticket cost 5.6 million naira. Lagos London one-way ticket. Oh my goodness. Cost 5.6 million. What exactly is going on? I mean, we have a new president and we should be looking at things, going down, like things looking better for the country, better for the citizenry. Why is everything just on a somersault, even higher? Because then we were complaining and saying that things are already even tough 9 years ago. But looking at 2023, in fact, May 29 to be precise, and now it's over 3 months or so, and things are really not looking like they're going to get better. When the story broke out, people were talking. I really want to know your reaction to this story. Like Lagos London one-way ticket cost 5.6 million naira, and Euro-bound flights diverted because of fear of price hike. I mean, people that are trying to come to Nigeria, they are just trying okay, I can't really pay that kind of money, so high. And look at that, another rider, Germany threatens coupists with sanctions, persecution. I'd like us to leave that. We'll talk about the ECOWAS thing later on and Niger. But I want us to talk about this fare in hiking fare price.
Well, we found ourselves in this already. And believe me, for this particular one, no other person to be blamed than the present government. See, we must have been going through the issue of subsidy and biting hard on the our economy, on our finance in this nation. But if a new government comes in, I think there must be a plan. It has the mind of removing subsidy. No matter what you see, you don't look at what will affect the little few and have a bigger effect on the general populace, and then just want to say you want to stop this and you just stop it. Let people enjoy the dividend of democracy for voting you in the place. There's a lot of hope that, okay, when you get there, life will surely get better and easier. And this should be the people should be at the back of your mind when you are implementing a policy or you want to put your feet down on a particular situation that affects us generally. We are already facing a lot of things. Electricity is there, others are there. Now, the fuel, which is one of the major areas, it just came and they said, you need it all. And you know how far it can go to affect us. And you said you want to do palliative and you cannot do it. Okay, use it on this way. Let us reduce the price a little further. But you can see where we are going now. Even from what I'm hearing, it might even get more expensive. The price might even increase to 700 or more from what we are hearing around. I don't know how
I was I took the papers all through the week, and we heard that even gas, to buy gas when you want to buy your cylinders, it will get even higher. I don't really get it. What exactly is going on?
It's going to affect every. That's why I said he not had a second thought and a deep thought concerning this before implementing what he did. He should have got some people will have, he should have got some economic advisors that should have do it gradually.
Yes, this week at this juncture, I think the president should have economic advisors that are just going to come into the situation, because things are not really getting easy with Nigerians, and Nigerians are talking tough. It's not even easier with me. It's not easier with anyone. So we need to talk about this so the president can hear of all of the things we're talking about, because since he came in, things have not been okay. Yesterday, as the last year, 2 days ago, I heard someone saying, "Are you the one that voted?" He was talking to another friend. "Are you the one that voted for this particular government? You guys should just make things easier because things are so expensive. It's even worse." Wait, I want to find out now. Is it the outflow of the former president? Because we know things were not so good. The former government that actually left, we complained, and it was just we could see it is reality. Except some persons really want to close their eyes to it. But if you're gonna speak out, you have to speak out with the reality, with facts. We knew how fuel was selling, and we knew how every year, January or December, we queue up for fuel every time. And now the current president says he will make this. In fact, at the point he said that he will make things easier. But now it's not looking easy. And why is he taking much time to feel the pains of Nigerians? The Nigerians are really going through a lot. It's not easy. Why can't he get ministers or people who are going to put things together as fast as possible? Because he's reacting to Niger so fast. I really want him to use that same energy to react to some of the situations bothering Nigeria. We have insecurity on one end, and we have economy on another end. So I want to know your take.
Two major issues. That's why I said that two major issues at a time. And I don't know how Nigerians are very rugged. I can put it that way. Some country cannot even stand what we are standing here.
They cannot accept some of the things that Nigerians are going through.
Yes, they can't. They won't even wait for you to get to this point before they react, and everything is,
run into proportion. All right.
Yeah, they allow you to go. So, but as I was saying, the president needed a very good economic analyst and advisor that will have analyzed all these things and give an advice that this can go this, because you don't look at the economy at the macro alone, look at the micro alone, look at the macro, micro, even mini micro, nano micro economy, down the drain, down the stream, and you should know how the effect of this can have. The people at the top, even if there are changes and increase in price, people at the top that are making money can afford it. What about the common Nigeria, who have far more than those that have, and these are the people that voted in him? He must have their concern in mind. I would know that the former government has his own hand in this, and he managed it until the last day. That it was not blown out of proportion like this. And now, even he must have left a lot of this for you. You have to first of all sit down. You are not coming to rule a community, a house, or a state. You are coming to rule a nation that has different, aspects and level of, economy activity. That has different level of, strata and all those things. And it is a wider system.
Okay.
But you need the advice. You need to talk to people at each of the states and say, okay, how do we manage the situation before you implement anything? You can't just assume that this is where it should be. You work with more of assumption than reality. And we need, as a president, the government of a nation like Nigeria, you need analysis. You need to analyze the situation first and see the best way to apply whatever you want to apply for it to work well, and not come back to make it look like a tyrant ruler. I'm not calling him that, but when things get to some extent, you will believe this man is wicked. He must have a good plan. He must have a good motive. But implementation, he has not done it well at all. He's supposed to have done.
It's ill time. We just put it that way. That is ill time. It's just to without looking at all of the things that needed to be looked at. Okay, let's move over to another story. On the Daily Trust newspaper, let's talk about ECOWAS. ECOWAS slams fresh sanctions on Niger. This news came up on I think on August 9th, still August 9th. And when this news came up, what were your thoughts? And let me just read it right. The junta rejects diplomatic overtures, names ex-minister PM, that's Prime Minister. ACF wants sanctions lifted, no option taken off the table. Tinubu spokesman, we are pushing for negotiation. That's US. And still talking about Niger. They're trying to talk to the Kupis and everyone involved to take time. Let's just hand over this thing. But at this point, because we know the true situation of things, so we are actually looking at some of the old stories or some of the stories already. So I want to know your thought on this particular story. When ECOWAS talked about slamming Niger, giving them sanctions and fresh sanctions at that time when the news came out, what's your thought?
ECOWAS has its own mode of operation, and when there's a situation they want to, follow, policy and the system has been laid down. When it happens to other countries, what do? They want to always apply the same policy, but they know that situations change with time. There are some situations, that you don't just apply what is written by the book. You first of all look into that situation and see, this applying this 100%, how does it? Okay, let's not apply it 100%, so let's apply it 50 or 60% and adopt this because of situation that is involved. But if ECOWAS wants to go by the book and say this is what we stand for, this is our policy, it may not work too well, because sometimes you have to be diplomatic and flexible in your application of policy, because the same situation that brought it yesterday may not be the same situation that brought it today. Two consequences might happen from a particular situation. Why? Because what warrants that situation in one instance may not be the same that warrants it in the other instance. The people involved, I think the same set of people, do they have the same sense of same mind and system of thinking? So if you see that a particular situation is going out of hand, then I'm not saying they should shift away from their policy, but they should be at least a little more diplomatic and adopt new ideas and consider the system, consider the danger or the flexibility or the dynamic nature of that situation. How far can it go to affect other people? They should consider other ECOWAS states and the community and people that are close to that area and what can be the effect. So in putting more sanctions at a time like this, I believe they should be a little bit more careful about it. They should exploit the area of diplomacy, of dialogue, and all those things first. Then, even in that state as well, in Niger, we know a democratic president, a democratically elected president is there. But how about the people? Do the military act on their own, or they acted with the support of the people that elect this particular president and government there? If it is with their consent, it is a more complex and a more a situation that requires, diplomacy, patience, that require, to logically look at it and understand, what's going on. If they have the support of the people, of the populace, believe me, they should be careful applying, sanctions, because democracy is about government of the people.
Yeah, by the people for the people. Because the people, at this juncture, you could see videos, and sometimes these videos, that the people are kind of happy because we knew what panned out and what people were saying. They were happy about the situation of things with the military takeover, because the Bazoum has actually really not done well in their own opinion. That's what they're in their words, saying that they've not done well in democracy. Democracy has not benefited them enough. They want the military takeover and they're happy about it. So Nigeria and ECOWAS should back off. That was what were really coming out from their end. And let me look at this. Some people were of the opinion that France is their colonial masters, and they gave them handed over independence to them in 1960. Same time with Ivory Coast and some other nations, and Niger is also part of them in 1960. So what do you think? Do you think that France is in support of this military takeover by the coupists?
Well, as I said earlier, it may be difficult to judge from distance, because some people can come in the open and say, no, I don't know about this, but behind we are the ones fueling the fire. So it is difficult to judge, but I don't think the France that colonized a place and added them independence will not be the one fueling the cause of war or coup in that place again. But from the particular video I watched, I don't know how true it is online. It's like the people are even trying to go after, anybody they saw, any white person they saw that they looks like a French citizen. They're trying to go after them one way or the other. I don't know how true that video. Online can be very
sure. It's not yet verified. Yeah.
So if the citizens are going after people that seems to be, from a French country, then that means the coup is not being, being fueled by France. That means France itself is, found at that situation because they're the one that handled independence in the first place. But in another way, in other areas, what I can say in this is, the approach to this should be more of a dialogue. Like, look at what Emir Sanusi did.
Okay.
We should get more people like that can go.
That can actually go mediate, yeah.
Negotiate, and see how. If they don't want that president again, we can't force him on them. As I said, if the citizens are supporting the military, you can't force what people don't want.
Let me put in here at this juncture. You see, the Russia-Ukraine war has been on for a while now, and it's getting to 2 years. It started last year, in February, to be precise, last year, January, February, and up to now, it has not. There's no truce within with Russia or Ukraine. It's just on and on and on, and some nations are taking support underneath. At this point, the United Nations and some other bodies have not been able to really bring peace in that particular, that war. Till date, lots of lives and properties have gone on the way. Why is it so difficult to bring peace? And in ECOWAS, Niger, look at that, the coup that happened. I think some of these nations are, UN, the AU, ECOWAS also, are all involved. They want to know what is happening. If they cannot bring peace with Ukraine and Russia. Why are they looking at wanting peace or wanting a democratic rule in Niger?
And as we said earlier, Ukraine and Russia, they are not in a military rule, are they? No. But now that we are having this here, this is what area we need to look at in Africa. That we should not allow, as you said earlier, we should not allow Ukraine, Russia, kind of issue to happen in Africa. Those, they may have what they can use to curtail what is happening to control them. But in Africa here, when something broke out, it's not easily controlled because we don't have enough resources, diplomacy, everything it takes to curtail it easily, and it will spread beyond what we could think or imagine. It will go out of hand. They will not go back to, to become to be subject to colonial rule and a mastership again. They will not go under that taskmaster system of life again. So that is why ECOWAS need to tread carefully. They should take that, for example, over almost 2 years now. That kind of a war, they've not been able to come international level. At that level, on that UN, it's not being covered. What about here? And we know that these particular people, Niger, are already in connection with Russia, and we know what can happen. What the US, if the US is backing ECOWAS, and Russia is backing Niger. Are we not trying to bring? We don't want us to be a kind of a show of power. Okay, maybe you are trying up there. Now let's see what happens down there again. A replica of what is happening there, and before you know it, may we not be gone and finished before our time. As I said once again, may God help us. This situation at hand, you see, if they cannot stop that war for over 2 years now, what will happen to the one in Africa? And will they be able to bite? Are we not going to be putting too much than we can chew? As in universe concern, and as in even the UN, the ECOWAS, the US, and all those things. And before you know it, another one may break off somewhere. And this is not concerning Nigeria alone.
All right.
We have Mali and Burkina
A
Faso
lot,
to join in.
exactly. In fact, if we go on and on, we're going to spend over 2 hours talking about this particular story and particular issue that's befallen Africa and also West Africa, to be precise. And Nigeria is also affected, whether we like it or not. Let's move over.
Sure.
Let's move over to another story, because this story is really, it has branches. Let's look at the Guardian newspaper of August 10. 2023. And Lagos, Nigeria, we're still talking to the IPAC chairman, Lagos State Inter-Party Advisory Council of Nigeria and Lagos chapter, Mr. Mobolaji Olusegun. He is giving us analysis to the big stories that made it to the headlines during the course of the week. You can send us a WhatsApp message on 0907-224-5018, or rather you can call me up on 0700-1021-1021 to tell me what is your big story, what made it up for you during the course of the week. This is the melting point on the Big Five. All right, let's quickly look at another story on The Guardian, dated 10th of, that's on a Thursday. Thursday. Dollar breaks 900, is eaten to the ceiling. 950 naira. The parallel market. When the story broke out, everywhere was just, heated up with naira getting to, because I remember a particular senator saying one day we'll wake up and we'll see that naira to a dollar is 1,000 naira difference. Like a dollar to a naira is just 1,000 naira. And people were like, oh, yeah, that should be Senator Dino Malaye. And years back, he said something like that. We'll wake up and it to be like a dollar to naira, 1,000 naira. And it's almost edging and getting close to what he said. 900 naira. Let's put it 900 naira to a dollar. What is your thought on this? Why is the naira nose diving? What is going on? Is it the export? Because we know we import sugar, toothpick, handkerchiefs, champagne. Because some years back, you can look at that Nigeria is the highest importer of expensive champagnes, and the champagnes you cannot forget. The I don't call them common Nigerians. We are all Nigerians. I say the masses Nigerians who cannot afford that particular product. I call them. They are on the lower level where, they cannot afford champagne. So who buys champagne? We know the people that buy champagne in this country. I don't want to mention them, but we already know them. So they are the biggest importer. Nigeria is ranked among the biggest importers of champagne. These affect our economy, and it's one of the big reasons why naira is nosedive. And also the over-reliance on oil. We have agriculture at the back end. We have all the copper, aluminium. We have all of this, but we are not utilizing them. Even our gold, we don't know how all of this is being utilized to really, and even looking at our yam, the garri, we can export some of this product, but no, we're not doing that. So the naira is really going down by the day, and it's getting worse. How did we get here? In 2014, 2015, the former president was really, beaten so hard in terms like, oh yes, the naira is almost heading to 180, 200. What are you doing? Then I remember the former president and also this current president Bola Ahmed Tinubu talked about this. Even 2012, he rallied round of Operation Takeover Lagos, that protest. He was there. What's changed now? Things have changed so much that he is now the president. And a naira to a dollar, because they promised us so many things then. The AP, the particular government, promised Nigerians so much, and some Nigerians believed, and they voted them. But this is a different situation now. Naira to a dollar is 900 naira. What is your take?
Well, what took us to this level is not just one thing or one aspect of the economy. And I believe the current president, on coming to power, should have concentrated on things that affect the economy directly, and things that can,
Okay, sorry, Mr. Mobolaji, I want to butt in again. Your president said, because I'm trying to quote him, he said things will get better, but he knows that things are going to be tough. He's going to be taking tough decisions that will affect every Nigerian, especially the ones that are not even on that level. When I say Nigerians, the masses, it's going to affect them. He's saying that we should take things easy because tough times are coming, but it's not going to last. It will get better. And even at the point we're advised to, to cushion the effects of this fuel remover and the fuel subsidy remover, we should all get bicycles. That the federal government advising. I saw it on the national dailies. We should get bicycles. So the president already knows that things will get tough, but he has given us the assurance that it will get better. So that's what I want to put there. So continue with your thought.
How long and how soon are we going to wait for this? From what we are seeing now, when things are getting this tough, this high, coming down will not be very easy.
Okay.
Then you should have looked at other aspects where this first can be pushing. Now look at even the Senate from the last, what happened with the briefing of our Senate president, when he said money has been sent to their accounts to go and enjoy holidays. There are some spending behind that we do not see, even by the government at the hub there, that should have been cut down, that should have been sacrificed one way or the other to make things work easier. They are cutting, they are asking the general populace to get it, to face this, but some courts that are not open, some elite courts, instead of it to reduce or they're even increasing, they are not ready to sacrifice.
All right, I would like to button again to make emphasis on what you're trying to say. And he talked about enjoyment allowance. Did you hear about the Senate President, President Godswill Obota Pabio? Did you hear of that story, yes, the enjoyment allowance that Nigerians were really, they backlashed him in different angles? What can you make of that? Talking about cutting costs, do you think some of those things are not luxury? And at this point that we are as a nation, we need to really cut down enjoyment allowance. And do you agree with that?
Yes, that's what I say, that there are a lot of costs that is going up there that should have been totally removed. What is enjoyment allowance? Are they not getting salary? Are they not getting, all the normal pay, which is even excessive before? This is part of it that is biting on our economy, on the money that should have been channeled to other things that should have made things to be better. So that's why I said a lot of things culminate to this dollar getting to where it is. We know about local manufacturing that is not being encouraged. We know about exportation that is not being encouraged. Even the oil aspect that should have helped us look at what we are facing. That is why I said the president should have done a general analysis, sit down and done a general analysis with experts in economy and in public relations. Should have put different aspects of the economy of experts of the economy together and do an analysis. How do we get this done? Nigeria, when it comes to finance and finance management and usage, we are not doing well at all. People are massively well, keeping money. Look at how they said they changed Naira. Look at how many money went out from hiding. But it's already decaying and all those things. What is our EFCC, High CPC doing? That such a thing is being hidden. Are these money coming from central bank? How are they monitoring money that flows to the economy? Are they sure? Even if there's it should be minimal. But they give room for all this. The economy system is there's no sufficient security check on fiscal policy, on monetary system in this nation. Everybody is just doing what they like. The money that should have flown in, that should have helped our currency and Naira is being eaten up. So some are even sent out of the country, kept there to help other economy. While our own economy is suffering, and we are complaining about that, a lot of things culminate into this to bring dollars to where it is. And majorly, presently, the issue of fuel, the issue of the exchange rate of the official and the exchange rate that is so close is another thing. And you see, simple policy, turning in the right direction at the right time could have even helped us. How are we sure that we will not even get to over 1,000 at the end of the year in the way we are going? And these are the things that I say once again, the government should have looked into.
Okay.
Before you are saying we should dare it for how long? And cannot do things that will help us to understand and want to wait for you to see what you are doing.
Okay.
We are not seeing that at the end of the challenge is too tiny for us to believe that something better will happen soon.
All right, let's look at one more story before I let you go. We are out of time. I don't know where the time is flying to, but hey, now the Daily Trust newspaper dated 11th August, 21 killed as gunmen attack Plateau community. Remember, some months ago, a month or 2 months ago, we heard that Plateau was under a whole of a siege in terms of the terrorists came in and took some people, killed some people, and it was really a disturbing news for us as a people, as a nation. And we are still hearing this again on August 21 killed as gunmen attack Plateau community. And we're talking about insecurity, that we have our own insecurity problems to face as a nation, but Niger is really topmost on the mind of our president and also some other top people in this country. I think at this juncture, what do you advise? We want to advise the president. We have a security in our hand. Look at Plateau, 21 killed. We have other places. Even the southeast is not really looking good because the sit at home out there has been going on and on and on. And yes, some army, some soldiers have been deployed over there to really look at checkmating. As of yesterday, I heard that some people were arrested and some places were invaded. Those IPOP hideout and all of that. And now, yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, we heard that yesterday, 21 killed as gunmen attack Plateau community. Should the president be focusing on insecurity in Nigeria first? Looking at what is happening in Nigeria, taking it as topmost priority than some other news or some other stories or some other development.
These are part of the thing that is affecting our exportation. When farmers cannot farm enough food that will survive, that will be sufficient for us in this nation, how do we export again? Because farmers have been sent out of the farm. This Boko Haram, gunmen stuff has been affecting all these things from time. And as I said earlier, when the president comes, he should rather look at things that affect us inside. first and attend to it before going out. If you have enough soldiers to tackle gunmen and the program, we will be talking about it now. Who are the ones we want to send to Niger again? When we are still having this kind of insecurity problem in our nation, and a lot of time is still going on that we are not even hearing of. I'm sure of that. There'll be a lot of. We're only talking about the one we had. What about the ones that we are not hearing about? Some other little domestic that is more domestic than the one that we are hearing. That is coming to the news. That is even leading.
Okay.
That insecurity in the nation. Insecurity is a major problem that should have been tackled. And these same military people that should have covered that, covered this, and what we are turning to the okay. So we need to pay attention to our house.
All right, thank you. But yes, I want to have you. Don't really ask you. Today is International Youth Day, and with the situation of the country, things are hard. Every time is tough. We know the exchange rate and every other thing. And today we're celebrating International Youth Day. Some youths are doing us proud in Scrabble, World Scrabble Championship, like Wellington Jigara and Abiola. Some other people doing us so Adesonya doing us so proud. Not Abiola, Adesonya, who actually went to the World Scrabble Championship, and they came out with different medals. Some fourth, some came out second, and overall Nigeria came out second. And I'm so happy about that. And we see Super Falcons. You see how they surprised us. They actually worked hard to really get to a particular point. They represented Nigeria so well. They did so well the ongoing Women FIFA World Cup. Also looking at the Tigers, they won the African basketball, the Afro Basketball Championship again. So all of the things you see that youth are doing well. They're all in their youths, doing so well. And today we're celebrating International Youth Day. But on the other hand, we talk about the positive, also the negative aspects. You see youth becoming maniacs, becoming stealing, into crimes, fraud, and all of what can you say? And it has even increased because the hardship has gone to another level, another gear, and the youth are putting their hands in so many other things that are negative. We talked about the good ones, the good side, and the youth are really getting involved, but the negative side. So what can you advise? You just quickly under 1 minute, please.
As you can see, that's why I said a lot of things we need to pay attention to. All these gunmen, all these kidnapping, who are we having? Are they not youth? As we are having them doing well at a particular extent, so we are having, the problem we're having in the nation also is being, caused by that. And that is why attention needs to be paid to that aspect. We need more of human capital development. The president, the government needs to look at that particular area to build, to take them out of the street, to encourage. When all things are happening, it is getting more to the youth than anybody, because they are the prime of their life where they want to enjoy every good thing of life. They cannot see it to enjoy in a normal way. They want to go extra miles. That's why we have more even trying to travel out. A lot of them dying in Pacific Sea, shipwrecks and all those things. And these are the things that we expect the government to pay attention to. Things that will help these, that will encourage them to come out of the street, out of crime. There should be a that a policy will be implemented that will help the youth to reorientate their mind and make them understand that there is, there's a loss reserved for them. They can do better in a normal way, but unfortunately, some of these youth are even encouraged by the government officials. They are people killing their hands for some of the things they are doing. They keep their own children somewhere and making use of other youth within the country to carry out their evil activities. Don't be surprised that most of this kidnapping and government stuff, we have some politicians behind it, which it has been in the news. That it has been it's already a big news already. It's not a still new thing. Some of these things, this crime, these big men are behind it. And celebrating Youth Day should have been a day that a new policy should have been implemented to make life easier for the youth, to encourage them. But I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Doing the wrong thing.
Whoa, Lagos, Nigeria. This is supposed to be the first segment, but it's like into the second segment already. But we still have some few more minutes to bring in the second segment of this particular newspaper analysis on the Big Five. I have been speaking with Jayola Olusegun Mobolaji, Lagos State IPAC Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter. Mr. Jayola Olusegun Mobolaji, thank you for coming on the Big Five.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. All right, Lagos, I'll be off on a break. When I come back, the second part, just in a jiffy there, but the second part will kick off the second part of the Big Five. You can send me a WhatsApp message and tell me what your big story, what made it to you during the course of the week from Mondays to Fridays. Which story caught your attention? Is it the ECOWAS story? Is it the Naira to $1? That one got me. It got me. All right, be right back. Don't touch that.
Let's discuss big stories from the dailies that caught your attention during the week on The Big Five. Every Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on High Impact 102.1 FM. To share your views, call 0700-1021-1021 on WhatsApp 0907-224-5018. Let's hear your thoughts on The Big Five.
Are you looking for an avenue to blast your brand? Why not let us be your detonator at High Impact Radio 102.1 FM with Got You Covered. For advert placement, sponsorship, partnership, call us on 0706 393 5694 0915 958 1881 0902 745 3931 or send an email to info@highimpactstudio.com.
Do you know bad production can kill a great content idea?
Do you want to have a photo shoot, audio production, or do you need a professional voiceover artist?
Do you simply want unmatched cinematography, video production, or just event coverage, such as weddings, birthdays, or burials?
Or do you need a space for meetings or conferences? All these are possible with High Impact Studios. Don't bring down your creativity, let's help you take it high.
And out of this world with our state-of-the-art equipment and first-class studio space.
We give you the quality you deserve at the best rate.
For more details, call 0706 393 5694 or 0915 958 1881. High Impact Studios, the future.
Let's discuss big stories from the dailies that caught your attention during the week on The Big Five. Every Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on High Impact 102.1 FM. To share your views, call 0700-1021-1021 on WhatsApp 0907-224-5018. Let's hear your thoughts on The Big Five.
G. Who the? What's that song? Hey, chat. I don't want to sing. Hey, kill it for my response. Yeah. Hello, yeah. Hey, see, for instance, say I be the one where them give chance. Say I be the one where they make plans. For all man to benefit I be, to make me disagree, to agree to create chance. But now I am not of importance, cause now I am looking from a distance. And that's why he give them the chance to do us and turn us the victim of circumstance. Them just they ignore our existence. They create excuse, they use excuse to buy plans. Them no one knows every day, them they use us, they play. All we get is a passing glance. Anytime we stand for resistance, when I'm in the act of exploitance, I be we just be living in a trance, Lord. Oh my God, hello, yeah. Me what I feel, it means you feel in my flow, and then you know say it's so. Hello, yeah. In your house, or you in a motor, and you there go slow. Hello, yeah. Feel that this thing is affecting your being and it's killing your soul. Hello, yeah. Hello, yeah. For the thing where you see, that make you hello, yeah. Hello, yeah. For thing when we feel me, they make me, they want to the hello, yeah. Even if I want to the cheat, I go still where they want to the hello, yeah. Stand, look around you, and I bet you go on to the hello, yeah. Hello, yeah. For the thing when you see, hello, yeah. For instance, say mini ballet of Nigerians. Share I go they respect your own stance. Share I go create the scenery for better to plenty to they make me they give chance. Instead of to they pack the money go France. They make suffer to full in abundance. They make me to one run away to a place where he be say go they feel like to break dance. Where them go respect my skills for instance. Where them go no go just let they play pranks.
All right. Okay. Whew, they're packing the money, go France. All right. We don't know who's packing the money to France, oh boy. It's okay. It's on the Big Five. This is the Big Five. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, remember we are streaming live on YouTube at Impact 102.1 FM and also on Twitter at Impact 1021 FM. We are making sense of all of the stories, the news that made it to the headlines during the course of the week, and this is the melting point on the Big Five. I Impact senior citizens, I Impact compatriot, I Impact listeners. I have with me Honorable Oyejide Sukanmi. He is the PDP youth leader of Ogun State. So you're welcome to the Big Five on the Wavy Weekend, I Impact 102.1 FM. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me this morning.
All right, good morning, and thanks for having me this morning. That's why I said, how is Ogun State this morning? Looking cool.
Well, the weather is fine. It's good.
Okay.
And I hope Lagos too is fine.
And today is International Youth Day. We are celebrating. I hope you are also celebrating as a youth yourself.
Yes,
I know you represent the youth, and you've been doing a lot for the youth. You represent the youth. You're doing a lot for the youth. Let me ask before we go straight to the papers. What exactly are you planning for the youth, or what will you say to the youth before we kickstart? What do you say to the youth this beautiful time they're celebrating International Youth Day?
Yes, thank you. My message to them is that they need to step up to the plate. Nigerian youth, especially when it comes to our politics, we've distanced ourselves from politics, and it is that time we realize that it is our civic responsibility.
Okay.
So the youth need to come close to politics, get into the mix, play politics, and be part of decision making, because if they keep continue distancing themselves from politics, then our babas will continue, to continue making the blunders, and we have no choice. We have to be accepting it. So we just need to move closer to them so that we can be part of decision making, because the future belongs to the youth, and we have to be part of decision making. We have to get into the mix and be part of the process.
All right.
This is what Nigerians need to do.
Very good.
And that is my message to them.
Very
Let's
good.
Take our destiny into our hands.
All right, the youth, the future, it's in your hands. That's the words of Honorable Oyejide Sukanmi, the PDP youth leader, Ogun State. Let's get into the Big Five, shall we? I would like to take there's a headline there. There's a topmost corner of the nameplate Daily Trust newspaper on the Duchess yesterday. 21, no, not 21. We're talking about ASU. I want us to look at ASU's story. ASU knocks federal government over dissolution of universities governing council. ASU knocks federal government over the dissolution of universities governing council. What can you say about that story? When that story broke out yesterday, I really did not have time to really talk with the guest I brought in, with the guests we had already. So I want us to talk about this story. ASU knocks federal government over the dissolution of universities council, governing council. What can you say about the story?
Well, like I always say, it's a familiar terrain, and we'll keep saying it the way it is. And even though some people have, been saying we are beginning to sound like a broken record, we keep saying it is our country. We have no any other country. So we have to keep doing our job, by saying it the way it is, by calling the attention of those in authority to it. Yes, of course, ASU, that is the body responsible for the union for the staff, of the universities in Nigeria. And of course, the federal government, this will continue as long as the federal government keep, fail to do the right thing. Of course, the governing council of the university is a body that that is expected, to ensure that things are running the way it should. So the ASUU is a stakeholder when it comes to that, and they have the right to call the attention or to say things are not properly done. This is the way to go about it, so that we can have a process that is workable, so that we can have a process, that will ensure things are done the right way. So the federal government needs to, like I always say, engage the right critical stakeholders involved when it comes to university councils in the university, so that governing council in the university, so that they can find a solution, a grant, that will ensure things are done properly. So they also are not, they are doing what is expected of them by calling the attention or trying to do what is expected, so that the government can know that they have a responsibility to make sure things are done the way it should be done.
Okay,
all right.
The
right call.
Okay. Let's quickly go over to another story, still on the Guardian, dated 11th yesterday. Niger formed new government as a ECOWAS standby force ready for deployment. Niger forms a new government as ECOWAS standby force ready for deployment. We see that the coupists and those that did the coup are not really relenting. They're trying to form a new government in Niger so they can move on with governance in the country. Right now, ECOWAS is also on the standby. They had meetings with different heads of state and different presidents in the West African region, where they came to Abuja. That was 2 days back. Had a meeting, to deliberate on what not and what to do about the situation in Niger. And right about now, as of yesterday, we know that of course, Niger, they want to go back with the new government, trying to put everything together, while ECOWAS still on the standby, and they're saying they will attack if need be. They will send soldiers, to actually. But the coupists is saying, the head of the coupists is saying that if there is an attack on them, they will kill the president. That's talking about the president that was ousted, Bazoum. What is your take? ECOWAS is looking at deploying soldiers to go there to maintain the peace and also, transfer power if possible.
Well, Afghan, if you look at coup d'etat attempts in Africa from 1950 to date, you see that there have been 120 coup attempts in Africa from 1960 to date.
And we got successful ones, though, in Nigeria alone.
80 of them have succeeded, while 40 have failed.
Abacha is one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the best, and when it comes to
the 1956 coup in Nigeria,
exactly,
with other African countries. So what is the issue this morning? What am I trying to say is that the question is why we've had so many coups from 1950 to date. 120 of them attempt and 80 have succeeded. So for me, the military in Niger, I think they are overstepping their bounds. Because this is not a war, or this is not a challenge.
They're overstepping their boundary? Is that what you're trying to say, that Niger is overstepping their boundaries?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because let me say this morning, and I don't know, it depends on how other Nigerians see it. No matter how bad a constitutional democracy, no matter how bad it is, how bad the civilian government is, no matter how bad, military intervention is not the option. Is not the option. What the citizens need to do is to have what we call voting revolution at the pool. They go there, they vote for the right set of leaders.
They change the government.
That is capable of turning things around. And this is the mistake. This is what we have failed to do, we as electorate. When you have a institution whereby the ECOWAS, AU, United Nations, and other powerful nations in the world are saying, you've got to go, what you are doing is not right, we don't encourage this, this is barbaric, it is strange, the constitutional democracy must be restored in Niger Republic. I think
these people need to go. Remember what happened to Laurent Gbagbo? Laurent Gbagbo.
Okay.
When he failed.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
When Laurent Gbagbo, when he refused, to leave the seat of power. Remember what happened? United Nations force just came in. They fired the rockets into the presidential pillar, and he was captured like a ram.
He was.
Like
He was.
So
That was huge.
He's not up to 15 years. He should be fresh in the memory of the coup plotters.
Okay. Let me. Yes.
We sit down and we sit down without acting, without ensuring that the constitutional democracy is restored.
Let me.
Don't forget about the sanctions. So many sanctions.
Yes, of course.
I don't know how to survive this.
And even Nigeria actually telling Niger that they have to pay 4 billion naira for the electricity they have been supplying them for the past years.
Exactly.
Remember, we supply Niger electricity. And
yes, it's one of the sanctions.
let me play the devil's advocate here. On the mind of the coupists, the leaders of this particular coup, what will you advise them? I really want to know, what can you advise them? Because you talked about Gbagbo, and that really shaping my thought on you saw what happened to the Gbagbo then when he refused to actually step down and allow power. On the minds of these coupists, do you think they feel that they're just going to succeed and they're just going to go ahead with what they want to do? Because it's like they've been planning all of this for a very long time. Do you think they're going to back out, or they would rather wait for the worst to come? Because they've said that, okay, we're going to, if you guys attack us, if you guys send soldiers, they do anything, we will kill the person that you guys are trying to bring back. We will kill the president, that's President Bazoum. You will kill him. On the minds of these coupists, do you think that they feel they're going to succeed? And what advice really you give them? Because if they don't really, come down, many things is going to happen. So many things going to happen, and it will maybe take their life if possible. Because if our soldiers and some other soldiers go in there, it's going to be a different ball game entirely. We're talking about something else.
Exactly. Yeah. So in war, there's what we call mind game, or in a contest or a challenge. The two brothers in the game are trying to be playing mind games, by saying we're going to create this, the president is going to do this if you come into our country with force and what have you. But this will serve as a lesson to countries in Africa on how they need to rearrange the security arrangement of the VIPs. I mean, the very important people like the president and governors and government officials, is that you don't allow only the military to be in charge of the security of the VIP. Engage the police, the DSS, the Navy and what have you, so that it will not just be the military alone. If it is the military alone, then they can just have a free day anytime they feel like they should talk to the government. But if you have the police, the DSS, and what have you, it will be difficult, to plan a coup, because they will need time, to agree together to it. But for me, the coup plotters in Niger too, I think at least they just need to sit down, and talk to themselves. It's better, when it is cool, at the end of the day, if there is a military intervention and they were overpowered, you know what it means to them.
Of course.
It's a crime. It's a tried up to the ICJ.
All right.
International Court of Justice.
Court of Justice, yes.
Because so many lives will be lost.
Of course.
And that would be a crime. That would be a crime. The United Nations will not take that easy. But for me, I think it's Sanusi, so many other religious leaders have been to that country.
Yeah, sure.
Engage them. What they need to do now is to just sit down and look at the way they can bring back their president, restore constitutional democracy, and maybe have the kind of agreement, that some things going to happen, constitutional reform, and what have you, so that they will continue to be a hero in their land.
Like Abdul Salami
entered into the country and they are captured. It will not be the same story.
Like Abdul Salami handing over.
Have to pay every price.
Okay, like Abdul Salami handing over power, General Abdul Salami Abubakar handing over power to democratic rule. That's Obasanjo. That's a kind of a way they could follow. They could actually borrow.
Abubakar Salami is a hero.
He's all right.
Really,
he was even there. All right.
Freely.
Okay. Please, let's talk about this. We have 2 more to go. We're short of time though, but let's quickly look at this. It's an International Youth Day, and we are really taking this a special edition. Yes, it's a special edition on the Big Five. If you're wondering, this is the second segment, and I have with me analyzing some of the headlines, some of the stories that made it up to the headlines during the course of the week. All of the newspaper headline stories, we are taking it up today, and it's the boiling point on the Big Five. So, Lagos, Nigeria, we're streaming live on YouTube at iImpact 102.1 FM and also on Twitter at iImpact 1021 FM. I still have here with me Honorable Oyejide, the PDP youth leader, talking about and giving us an perspective on all of this headlines that's making the rounds. I want us to look at a naira to a dollar. Remember, former senator talked about a naira will become 1,000 naira to a dollar. Some people really did us, they took that out of the way with a wave of hand. It's not going to be possible. But now we are seeing that a naira, yesterday, naira to a dollar is edging and getting close to a dollar. What can you say? Just in 1 minute.
Well, like I always say, it's quite unfortunate that we are at this level. But for me, what this government, Tinubu government, has failed to do is, swing into action. I keep saying this because governance is beyond coming on here to say, I see your face. I know it's not going to be easy, like 2, 3, 4 times.
Okay.
And your special advisors too will say the same thing. Come out with your policy document. Let us see what you can do. Swing into action. If you cannot fix all the sector at the same time, pick a particular sector and let's see what you have the capacity to do.
Okay.
It is beginning to appear as if Tinubu was only ready to hijack power. He was not prepared for governance, and we are beginning to see that. One thing is to hijack power, another thing is to say, okay, this is what I can bring to the table. This is what my government will do. This is how my government will turn things around. You see, not until when, this government begins to roll out, some of its policies, that will soften things in this country, dollar will continue to move up because we depend so much on importation. The bad news this morning is that Smithland Bicham, makers of Panadol Extra and Livator and what have you, they are leaving Nigeria for Ghana.
Okay.
They are leaving Nigeria for Ghana because they cannot cope, because of the overhead cost. They prefer to go to. Don't forget that Dorop too, they left Nigeria and they are now in Ghana. So when they are, and that these are products that we need in this country. So what it means is that we will now be buying them on the double. Not until when this government gets into action, and roll out its plan, and not only roll out, appoint the right set of people that know what it takes, to run all these ministries, all these important ministries. Then the dollar will continue to go up, because we have a case of somebody in power and that person is still yet to find his balance. Of course, because that person was only interested then in hijacking power, and that is the issue. That is what is happening to Nigeria, and this might continue. I'm not a prophet of doom, but this might continue on a long time, except this government gets to the right table, engage the right sort of people, bring the likes of Okoji Owela and the rest. These are people that are respected globally. Bring them on board, listen to them, let them advise you. It's their country. Forget about they were PDP, they belong to Party Z, they don't belong to my party. No! If you don't have what it takes and you find yourself in power, call on people.
Okay.
Please come rally around me.
All right.
This is my country. Let's do this together. And of course, they will sit with you and advise you, then you get the credit. But the problem in Nigeria is that, no, my party won, it should be winner takes all. I can do it alone. I can run it alone. Let me appoint, people that I think can work with me. Yes, the president has the right to do that, but at the end of the day, if things doesn't work fine, the president will take the blame. And it's so sad that we've been having president coming on board, 8 years. Look at what Buhari did, 8 years. He couldn't fix anything, and he left. He's now enjoying himself. He's enjoying his wealth now. And Nigerians are crying. The more things are getting worse. Nigerians can no longer eat 3 times in a day. People can no longer ride their car. It's so sad. It's so sad. Things are falling apart and fast falling apart in this country.
Okay.
And then what the Nigerian youth need to do, like I said, is to get into the mix, get into politics. Yes, we have some youths now in Labour Party, in PDP. Don't forget that PDP is the most youth-friendly party in power now. But the quota, the percentage is still very small compared to these babas that are sleeping. The Senate president that promised Nigeria is going to be an uncommon Senate, and on here, he announced that money has been sent, to the accounts of the senator so that they can have a good weekend. What about the masses? What about the masses? And later he has to say, okay, I didn't know I'm on here. Okay, it's a prayer and what have you. So sad that our money are just being shared just like that. What the masses do.
All right, this is where we call it a day on this particular segment on the Big Five. Thank you, Mr. Oyejide, Honorable Oyejide Sukanmi. He is the PDP youth leader, Ogun State. Sir, thank you for coming on the Big Five.
Yeah, I feel again, I say thank you for having me. And it's my duty as it's part of the civic responsibility. And anytime you call me, I have to be here and serve my fatherland. I'm serving my fatherland. That's really I see it.
All right. Thank you once again. All right. Yes, it's a special edition. I thought about that, so we bring up a special edition of the show, the Big Five, because we're celebrating International Youth Day, and today is the beautiful day we all been waiting for, and we're also looking at some of the. That's why I brought in 2 guests today. Oh, it's always, and I asked them these questions, and in their introduction, also their conclusion, what they can say with the youth. You remember what Mobology said when I brought him on the first segment on the Big Five, talking about the youth and wanting the youth to be better, to put their hand in things that are better. This is a special edition once again on the Big Five International Youth Day. I streamed live on YouTube. You can actually check that out if you miss any part of it. You know how we do it on the Big Five. We take up all of the stories that made it up to the headlines and make it a melting point on the Big Five on a wavy weekend Saturday. All right, Lagos, Nigeria, thank you for listening on the Big Five. I got so much more coming your way on the Wavy Weekend. You are ready to dance. I'm ready to dance. It's gonna be a very beautiful, beautiful time today on the show. Yes, I'll be right back. Don't touch it down.
Let's discuss big stories from the dailies that caught your attention during the week on the Big Five. Every Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on High Impact 102.1 FM. To share your views, call 0700 1021